Hello dear viewers. Today the Media Center team is with you from Paris, specifically in the front of the IGC lab building at Paris-Saclay University. And today we'll meet a distinguished professor in physics. We hope you enjoy this meeting with us. Let's we go.
So hello everybody, it's a pleasure for me and to welcome you here in Orsay, in Paris-Saclay. So just a few words about me. My name is Akile Stokki. I'm a researcher here in Paris-Saclay in a laboratory which is called IGC Lab. And in fact I'm a professor in Paris-Saclay as well. And the domain of my research is particle physics. Maybe later on we have the occasion to discuss a little bit about. And I'm also actually the director of this new lab, which has been created in 2020.
Interesting. So could you tell us more about Paris-Saclay and the projects that you are doing here?
So in fact here we are now in a campus which is called the campus of Paris-Saclay, which is grouping quite a lot of laboratory and research. It's one of the most important university in the world in many domains, essentially for what concerns also physics and mathematics. And actually here today you are in the campus of Orsay. Orsay is a campus of Paris-Saclay, which is down to the hill, which is historically the first which has been created in 1954. And here essentially the research we are doing are research on what we call the physics of the two infinities. So we study particle physics, nuclear physics, cosmology and astroparticle. And also we are are laboratories which are working essentially in constructing detector accelerator for making this kind of research. Yeah. And of course all over the place, there are research and teaching with quite a lot of students which in fact belong to the University Paris-Saclay.
Interesting. So by these projects you are doing collaborations with universities from around the world. And I know that Palestine was one of the universities of the Middle East that have the chance to do this collaboration with you. So could you tell us about the history of this collaboration and how it was and began?
Yeah, in fact, of course, our laboratory, more generally Paris-Saclay, has quite a lot of collaboration all over the world, yes. All the continents. And concerning Palestine, the collaboration started 7-8 years ago. And in fact, the reason was that we had two brilliant students here in Paris-Saclay, here in my lab, which are Hamed Basala and Adil Abu Al-Barab. And both they did a thesis, PhD thesis here. And after that, they came back to An-Najah and we kept the contact with them and we decided starting collaborating. And in fact, we start deciding like collaborating, organizing school, exchanging students. And year after year, this collaboration had taken quite a lot of importance. And now I think through this collaboration, which is beneficial to both, to us and to An-Najah, this collaboration is growing. We are participating together to big experiments in the world, both in particle physics, accelerators, and so on. And and this collaboration allows us to both to participate, to experiment, to exchange students, to exchange among professors, to exchange pedagogical practices and so on. And we also got twice quite an important and substantial financial support from Europe through Erasmus+, which allowed us really to make growing this collaboration. And
So, as a media team member, I have witnessed many activities for your university and our university, here or there. And the latest was on the 1st of July about the Palestinian Day. So could you tell us what's the secret behind the continuous collaboration and this remarkable collaboration between us?
It's a very good question. Very good question. It's a very good question because I think, I mean, one remarkable, of course, when you have a collaboration, okay, it's clear that okay, here we are one of the, let's say, most important university in the world, well ranking and so on. And you say, okay, but how you collaborate with An-Najah, Palestinian University, which is okay, which is not so big. You have several other universities in the world. I think the key is that is what I always said. The level of education in Palestine is just great. Is very, very high, and I think you put quite a lot of effort and attention to that. So the people in general, students, people, and in general, they are very, very well educated. So when you start to collaborate, suddenly you have best students, you have very good professors. So in this case, it's very easy to collaborate. It's very beneficial. And the idea is that, of course, what is a bit missing for Palestine and An-Najah is to have access to the external world, to have access to the big experiment, to have access to big facility in the world, like at CERN or in US or here. And through this collaboration, we can make this possible. But somehow it's not an effort for us, because of course also for us is beneficial because we have a very good collaborator. So, and this is otherwise it couldn't work. I mean, it's not just, I mean, it works because essentially your student, your young people, and they're extremely good. Even when they come here, they succeed very well. They come first and so on. So for us, it's even a pleasure to work with them. So it's and this is keep going like that. And then also you have a very, very big and strong support from your university management, which in fact personally is one of the best I know in the world. I mean, they are very, very attentive, very pushing, and very, I mean, they want to put forward this collaboration, and this of course is a key for us.
So since you talk about the students and their high education, I have met some students, actually. So they told us many things about you and good things, and also, So what do you think about the students here? So you said that you have dealt with many Palestinian students, starting from Dr. Ahmed and Dr. Hadid, who are now leading and professors here. So could you tell us about the Palestinian students, especially of An-Najah University?
In fact, I had the opportunity to meet several students because we started this WeShape school in 2016, and the classroom was always full of people. Many girls, in fact, many ladies, which is a very good. This, I mean, we are not using physics in Europe. We have like 20-25% of ladies and girls who are. Whereas, in fact, in Palestine is the opposite, which is very good for that ladies do science and mathematics. And in fact, what I mean, for me personally, was always a pleasure because there is a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of, they want to learn, they are keeping asking questions and so on. So at the end, I would say each time you meet with students, is really a very nice experience. I mean, better I would say that here in Europe, where people are probably more used to, where in fact I saw really the enthusiasm in Palestine. So after that, of course, I had the opportunity of meeting and knowing better some students, because they come here to France, they follow masters, license for masters, and actually we have between 8 and 9 PhD students coming from Palestine. So I know some very well, because I know them since they are a little bit, since 8 years ago, and now they are doing a PhD. Yeah. So I consider them like my, let's say, mixture of like my student, even if they are not formally completely my student. Yeah. And okay, and we were never deceived by them. I mean, they were always doing a lot of effort in trying to make this possible, studying, succeeding, and so on. And what I find also very good, that normally most, I would say, actually all the students I met, they want to go back to Palestine, which is very good. Yeah. Because they want to come, but then they want to go back to their own country. Yes. To make this growing. So I have a very, very good relationship with a lot of them. Since the beginning, we start with Manar and Shaimad and Terra, Yahya, Afnan, and so on, Sally, and then Omar, and then also today the youngest one, Rasha, yeah. Which in fact is my PhD student. Mm-hmm. So there are all my, yeah, let's say, sons and daughters, Palestinian.
Yeah. So let us talk about your visits to Palestine. So since you have been in Palestine several times, how was your impression? Your first impression about Palestine at your first visit?
My impression, or?
Yeah, about Palestine and Palestine at your first visit. Because, you know, yeah. Some people, especially from outside Palestine, feel like terrified and frightening.
No, I was always...
so what do you think about your visit?
I always felt very secure. I never had a problem. I mean, you have a fantastic hospitality, and I would say that since the beginning I felt home without any problem to live there. At the contrary, I mean, I would say that it's really each time a renewed experience. I like the people, I like the culture, I like the colors, I like the flavors, everything. I mean, is very nice. And I mean, of course, when you go to Palestine, I don't know, you breathe the history. I mean, the places. I mean, of course, also for us, Palestine is so rich of history and something which is, I mean, you. But what is more important, that I would say you feel quickly at home. I mean, you feel very well. I mean, and people are so nice and happy to make you discovering the culture of Palestine, which is so rich. So in fact, unfortunately, due to COVID, I went last time in Palestine just before the COVID crisis in February 2020. So of course now I'm missing, so hopefully I will go back in November this year.
Yeah.
Yes.
So also, could you tell us about your impression about your first visit to An-Najah University? Did you expect like the existence of such a university in Palestine like this, with the leading staff and also the leading students? They are graduating.
In fact, it's a very good question, because I was not expecting that. In fact, I had, of course, a very good telling about Palestine. I knew that, of course, the level of education in Palestine is not just today, but is historical since century, millennia. We know that, I mean, Philistines were very well-educated people. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, but when I went there the first time, I was not expecting to see such high level and also beautiful university. In fact, I I would say that when you enter also in these universities, a sort of oasis of, serenity, and so everything is well set. I mean, you are inside in a very nice, place. And then, as I said before, then when you discover the professor, when you discover the student, everything is so high level, so good, so everybody is so well educated, or everybody is so well motivated, which is, in fact, I have to admit, was beyond my expectations. And then you go to the amphitheater, then you go to media center, everything is high tech, high level. I have to admit that I was not expecting exactly like that level, and was a very good surprise, both in the new campus and also in the old one. Even if I know better the new campus, because where the physics department is.
So now we come to the question: what's next between the collaboration and of An-Najah University and here?
Yeah. I think,
the future.
The future is that, of course, what we have realized so far is good, in the sense, but to me, I would say the better is even to come. I think now the links are quite solid. In fact, we managed over these 7-8 years to do quite a lot of exchange. I would say more than 100 students, several tens of professors, and so on, several tens of master student lectures, and I said before, like 8 or 9 PhD students, which is quite a big success, because I mean we start from nothing, and now there are already 2, but there will be again 7 other doctors which are ready then to contribute to that. So this is already good, but I think it's just the beginning. Because I also see from our side, people start really to see An-Najah as a very good partners to propose science, to propose things to do collaborations. And on An-Najah's side, I see even that the level is even increasing. So, I mean, we are attracting even more people to go to our science. And this is quite good. And not only in physics, and this is one of our ambitions for future, we see also that we make an interest on computing department, on engineering department, on material science, on medical health applied, physics applied to health, and chemistry, and so on. So we are making something which is even bigger than what we thought, not only physics, but more, and with more students. And so probably in future we can make a common master to establish a common PhD program, and then to make also Palestine entering in the big collaboration. We manage with Atlas at CERN. Now Palestine is part of the largest collaboration in the world. We manage with the accelerator experiment Pearl, but there are many other experiments to come. So I think in future, the fact that Palestine and An-Najah will participate to the largest experiment in the world, I hope, will become just natural, just obvious.
I can see that An-Najah has some important and vital role on such projects. And now, could you tell us more about your next planning visit to Palestine? It will be on next November.
Yeah, next November we come back to Palestine after the COVID crisis. In fact, we will organize what we call WeShape 6, and so the idea, of course, is very important for us, because after 2 years of absence in Palestine is very important, and we want to go back, we want to come. And so what we expect, in fact, is to do a school as we did in the past, attracting students. And maybe a novelty this time is, as I said before, that we will try to do a little larger scope, not only for physics, and our physics, the physics of it to infinity, but we will try also to teach and to have seminars on accelerator physics, on material science, on computing, on some other different topics, in trying in fact to make even this event of WeShape even larger for other departments in An-Najah. So we'll try, and then we'll see. Hopefully it will be a success. Hopefully we'll have more students and to attract more people to that. And of course the other ambition would be that other students from Middle East country could join Palestine. Okay, this of course would not depend only on us, but on the access of other people to come to Palestine. And the other idea would be also to be able once to have also Gaza student in WeShape in Naples, but of course also this unfortunately does not depend only on our volunteers.
Yeah. So I have this question come to my mind. Did you think about students from here go and visit Palestine to see An-Najah University and how it works and how with whom they are collaborate? Again,
very good. Yeah, in fact, this idea was already there before the COVID crisis, and now we want. You are right. Is one of our ambition is again not only to enlarge the participation of student at this school from other region of the Middle East, but also to go with the French or other European country student. And this I'm not sure that this in November would be possible, but it's sure a program that we want to we want to make it possible. Eventually to come to school, or another possibility would be when some professor, me or others, they come in another time to be accompanied by some French or European student, and to go and to discover and to be there in An-Najah. Yes, this is clearly a program that we want to realize in the next years.
It will be our pleasure to have you.
Yes.
And your students and your films researcher there. So now we have came to the last part. So thank you for this conversation and for this friendly and kindly interview with you. And I would love really to document everything with you and to document this remarkable visit and collaboration with the project that you have done. So thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you. And again, welcome here. Enjoy your visit in Orsay, in Paris, and with my students, my Palestinian students.
We have already enjoyed and we hope to continue enjoying this.
Yes, and it's a pleasure for me that you stay here, and then I'm sure that we will meet again when I will come in November in Palestine.
That's our